like many of us, learnt anatomy incorrectly. You know, certainly my anatomy was very, very, very muscle focused, and we go into like an anatomy lab, and of course there's all the specimens carefully specced to show us the lovely muscles. So a lot of the textbooks that we've got these days are very, very specific with these beautiful drawings, and they're just gone to so much trouble to produce these gorgeous drawings of muscle, but it's just so wrong. That's not the way the body actually functions, and I think that's one of the reasons that probably it's got a lot of interest, is because, hang on a sec, we thought we were really good with our anatomy, and we're focusing so much on muscles, and really it's ridiculous, because we're all those specimens that we saw in the wet labs, they threw half the important tissue away to produce those specimens, and the bits they threw away was the fascial tissue, and it's so richly innervated with receptors in terms of proprioception, so telling us where we are in space and directing loads that are going through our body. And often the muscles, yes, they're certainly connected to the bones of the body, both directions, but they're also connected laterally as well to each other. And sometimes that particular structure needs to slide, sometimes it actually needs to transfer load with its next door neighbour. So suddenly it was something that it's always fascinated me right from the word go. When I first did a course with Michael Stanborough many, many years ago, and Michael is still a practitioner now and still highly respected in the fascial world here in Melbourne, and obviously he teaches internationally as well. So, but learning from Michael and then taking those same techniques, again, that initial Rolfing studies, they were not that focused on assessment. It was more just visual assessment, so more just looking at the body statically and applying a technique, and then looking how the body sits in space afterwards. But then, you know, because I was working in a sports medicine environment at the time, that obviously assessment is of critical importance to the way we treat our patients in that environment. So we're taking already those principles of using fascial-based treatment, and then using really good assessments pre and post-treatment to really demonstrate we're getting some good outcomes here. So that's one of the reasons, I guess, why I think it's got a lot more interest, is because that now people are probably realising that there's been some holes in their education, and perhaps they're filling a few of those holes in. And plus, it's just so bloody good. I shouldn't swear, sorry, but I get pretty passionate about this stuff. You know, it is so good, because it's something that's just so fundamentally important to soft tissue function and dysfunction. So I guess that's why the emphasis now is that there's kind of more people that are like people like. Obviously, you've brought Tom Myers out to Australia, and we've brought people like Mark Finch out to Australia, who are very very fascially conscious, and really brought a lot of great awareness to the minds of practitioners throughout this country. So, and of course, the Fascial Congress as well. The Fascial Congress has been such a successful phenomenon as well. So lots of people are getting grants, because there probably hasn't been as much research done on fascia because of this kind of neglect for so long. But I guess there's money there too, and there's PhD topics, you know, to explore. So whereas I suppose with as far as the muscle research, that a lot of that has probably been done. So there's lots of holes that need to be filled up. Hence, there's a lot more interest in fascia generally.